Want to welcome back to Conversation with Happy New Year. Yeah, and I just want to say it's just good to be back here doing what I like to do. Okay, so today's conversation, we're going to be talking about abilities. The abilities that God gives to you, and the more abilities you can gain from God, right? So let's get straight into it. So I personally believe, yeah, that God gives everybody on this earth abilities to do things from the minute that they're born. Right. I believe that God gives people the ability to lead from the minute that they're born. I believe that God gives people the ability. Well, I'm getting a little bit tongue-tied here. I believe that God gives people the ability to sing while they're born. Writing. It could be a skill, but some people are just writers. They don't need to, like, you need to learn how to write, but like writing creatively, sometimes that's an ability, but if you have to learn it, it's a skill. So let's differentiate the two. A skill for me is something that has to be taught. Like football, right? Everybody has to be taught to play how to play football, right? From the age of 5, if you live in a European country, from the age of 5 to like 21 or something like that, you're constantly being taught how to play football. But there are some people who got the ability to play football. People like Messi, they didn't have to be taught much. They got it as soon as the ball fell in the feet. Boom, they got it. Like the ability to lead, especially, I think that's a God-given ability, but skills for me are like anything that you had to be taught. And though you may excel at it, it's not because it's an ability, it's just due to hard work from your part. And I'm not talking about hard work from your part, though you still need hard work with those abilities. I'm not talking about hard work. I'm talking about abilities, and that's it, right? So I believe that God gives you that at the beginning, but I also believe God gives you more abilities as you go along, as your faith grows, as your spiritual self starts to grow. Because let's not forget, we human beings are spiritual beings, right? So as our spirit grows, God's just going to give you more abilities and more abilities and more abilities, like the ability to be able to heal the sick, the ability to be able to open the eyes of the blind, make the mute talk, stuff like that. The ability, if you are the level of Jesus Christ, you can even get the ability to raise people from the dead. Right? Because Jesus said, you will be able to do what I did and even more. And Jesus raised the dead. So more means you'll be able to do that as well. And more. Boom. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about. So let's talk about some abilities that more abilities that God gives to you as you grow into your faith. So as you go into your faith, we can see in the Bible that God gives you extra abilities, like the ability to speak in tongue. For anyone who doesn't know what a tongue is, it's a spiritual language that you can only talk in a spiritual world. You heard, those pastors preaching, they go, in the name of Jesus, shabala la 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 la. They're actually saying something in the spirit, They're saying something in the spirit between human and God, and the normal human being in his carnal self will not be able to understand it. And the people who are saying it do not understand it themselves because it's a spiritual language. But God gave them that ability to do it, right? And now let's flip it, because there are some people. I'm getting a little bit too excited. Let's flip it, okay? Because there are some people, who got the ability to understand tongue. So when they go la 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 la, someone might show up and be like, oh, God just wants you to go eat some rice or something. You're hungry, stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, God gives people the ability to understand something in the spirit. Like, oh, do not turn right because there's a killing monster on your right. So tomorrow when we come to church, we're all going to turn left. God gave him this ability to get that message from him, from the spirit. The ability to cast fire from the heavens. There's a prophet in the Bible who asked for God to cast fire from the heavens. And God was like, okay, cool. Here you go, my son. Boom. You get what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I believe that God gives you more abilities, but the abilities you get as you grow along your faith belongs on your own personal belief and how far you're willing to go for God. Because God will not give you those abilities just because you can have them. You know what I'm saying? And there's actually a person in the Bible, I forgot his name, who got given abilities, major abilities, but because he was doing nonsense with it, guess what? God took it away from him. And also in Exodus, this is actually what got me started this God give you abilities thing. I was reading Exodus, and God said, I think it was in Exodus 32, where he said, I'm gonna get, I forgot the names. He said, I'm gonna get these two people, I'm gonna give these two people the wisdom and the ability to do more like the tabernacle, to help create and design the tabernacle. So God does give you abilities, because he even said in the Bible, I will give you abilities. And plus, nothing can be done without the Lord say anyways. Boom, 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 boom. So anyways, this was Conversation with, I hope you enjoyed it. It's not long, it's only 6 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it opened up your eyes. If you believe that God gives you abilities, and if you have any abilities that God has personally given to you, comment it down below, and then we're gonna give you a shout out on the next episode of Conversation with. If you don't believe that God gives you abilities, comment down below as well, but give your reasons why. Because let's say again, let me remind you guys again, this is Conversation with. So I hope you like, I hope you subscribe, and I hope you comment down below and share this video. Boom, boom, boom. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you very much.